Yo, you are now tuned in to SECZN Live on a Tuesday night. We're covering week three. Week three. We're picking each and every single SEC game throughout the season, and this is our week three process. I got my guy with me. Let me go ahead and bring him up. This is my guy, Nick Frazier, man. Nick Frazier, how you doing, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. So we got a pretty dope show playing today. As you guys know, it's the third episode of our Fans versus They series, where we take on the establishment, the powers that be, the pundits, the ESPNs, the CBSs, all the important people that think they know football better than the fans. But I think that the fans know football better than them. And I say we affectionately because I don't want to separate myself from you guys. I'm a fan as well, right? There's not a hierarchy here. I'm a fan, so we're all in this together, man, and we're gonna build this thing. Super excited about this episode because unlike in previous weeks, we got a lot of SEC matchups in week 3. We got a lot of SEC 3 matchups in week 3. And on top of that, because there's so many SEC matchups, SEC on SEC matchups, it's not a lot of games to pick. We got 11 games we're going to go through. So that gives us a little bit of time to spend some time on these games. We don't have to breeze through them so fast like we do in the past. But this should be a fun episode. I'm ready to get started on this, man. If you are joining us, please go ahead and drop something in the chat, man. You know, anything. It doesn't matter. You can shout your team out. That's always cool. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let's go ahead and real quick, let's check and see who we got in here. Of course, we got Huggy himself dropping the rooster in the chat. And he's saying, war damn Eagle. Right back at you, man. Right back at you. Karen Parker, hey, Miss Parker. She said, hey, y'all, war damn Eagle. War damn Eagle, right back at you, man. Said she gonna be in and out tonight, Nick. She's at work, man. Yeah, so don't get in trouble on our behalf. Now, we don't want that, Miss Karen. Please do your job. But I appreciate you rocking with us on the job, man. That makes me feel warm inside. It does. You got Ant the Insider, man. War damn Eagle, man. War damn Eagle. Hey, I think the link is still the same one, man, if you want to hop in, bro, at any time. So it's the same one. So Nick, man, let's go ahead and let's get the housekeeping done so we can have some conversations here, man.
All right.
All right, so let's get over here, man, see what we got. All right. So last week, you guys know now is week 3. Last week we did week 2, which was a very interesting conversation, man. If you guys missed that, you want to go back a week on the channel and check that episode out. It was very, very fun. Our Fans versus They series in week 2. And here's the results. This is what we came up with in week 2. So pretty much you had the entire SEC taking wins, according to the Keyboard Collective, with Texas losing to Ohio State. And then in the only SEC on SEC matchup, we had Alabama winning that thing with a very thin margin. So people are kind of 50-50 on that one. Oh, man, before we get into it, Nick, anything about this you want to point out, or anything sticks out to you before we jump into this one, man?
Not really. No, I think that's pretty accurate. I think so. I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, the Alabama, of course, is I think will probably stick out. But other than that, I mean, I think everything else on there looks pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, me too, man. That Alabama win, like I said, that game probably could go either way. The Ohio State and Michigan one, I mean, not Ohio State, but Oklahoma and Michigan one was thin too. Um,
hmm
I don't know. I think I like Ohio State more than 62% myself, but it's not about me. It's about the votes and the fans. So, other than that, I think
Yeah.
everything else was kind of spot on, man.
hmm hmm
Maybe the Utah and Arizona, I mean Utah and Arkansas was, that one's kind of thin, but that's understandable because of what Arkansas did last year. Um, but yeah, nothing else really sticks out. You guys in the chat, man, if anything on here that you're looking at from week 2, if you didn't catch week 2, anything on here looks off, or you got any comments or anything on this one, uh, go ahead and drop those in the chat, man, while we're getting through this, getting through the housekeeping here. So,
Yes, sir.
also, and man, we're still doing take 5. We're still doing take
Mhm.
5, and Imma keep pushing this. We don't have a lot of entries. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Imma be transparent. I try to do that at all times. We don't have a ton of entries, not enough to make a composite video out of them. So, with that being said, if you want to have your voice and your opinion known, go ahead, shoot a 5-second video over to info@itssecsezn.com. And then we'll put it on the show, man. So, and this could be anything. Trust me, you can say a lot in 5 seconds. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be the most glorious football take. If you just want to jump on and say War Eagle, hey, that's fine too. So, go ahead and send those over, man. That way we can go ahead and get a composite video, and I can finish the intro for lunch breaks, man. Uh, yeah, that's still available, man. I'm gonna keep pushing that. Um, let's see what else we got here. As always, man, uh, I got my favorite chef, your favorite chef, Chef Country from Adelines. Where we do it right in Otagoville,
Yeah.
Alabama, man. See, got the ribs on the grill. And guess what, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, we got Easter coming up, right? Guess
Yeah.
guess guess what Ed's doing? He's got an Easter special, man.
He does. Look at
So, like, if you want to celebrate Easter and you just want to celebrate and kick your feet up, you don't want to slave in front of that hot stove, man, hit my guy Kid Country up.
Mhm.
For your Easter catering at Adelines, man. You see, you got the price, $30 a slab for the ribs, that strawberry banana pudding. There's a half a pan of that, man. You got regular banana pudding if you don't like strawberries. But remember, you got to pick these up Saturday, because he's gonna be celebrating Easter on Sunday. So Saturday, you want to make sure
Mhm.
you pick these up by
Yep.
5 p.m. So screenshot that, get all that information down there. That way you can be a part of that, man, and get you some good food down there at Adelines at. Hey, it's on there now, so I can remember. It's 2371 Highway 14, Tocqueville, Alabama.
Mhm.
You want to be a part of that, man.
Mhm.
All right, and let's see what else we got. Nick, Water Cooler Talk Sports. You guys got a new show.
Yeah, man. Got a new show over
Yeah,
there on the network. On the network, we got a new show.
yeah. Heat check with my guy Marcus Fitzpatrick, man. Thursday nights. To start 7, right? 7,
7
no,
7 Eastern, 7
7
PM Eastern.
Eastern. Right, 7 p.m.
I mean,
Eastern.
no, 7 PM Central, my bad, 8 PM Eastern.
Okay, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check out Marcus. He's taking the pulse of these fan bases, man. He's off to a great start, bro. I really enjoy it. So
Mhm.
make sure you guys are
Mhm.
checking that out, man. And just check out Water Cooler Talk Sports in general, man. Go over there, check out the website. Go to the channel, go through some of the content. My guy Nick is ramping it up, man. Hardest working man in show business. He don't like me saying that, but
Nowhere
I
near it,
see it,
man.
man. I see it. I see it. Putting
Nowhere
that work
near it.
in, man. And also, man, here at SE Season, of course, we got lunch breaks. If you guys are tuned into that on Thursdays, I appreciate you. This, is every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. 11:30, no, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we basically have lunchtime conversations, man. So I know your lunch
Mhm.
break is kind of boring at your job. You just get to eat and scroll through YouTube and scroll through TikTok and Twitter. You don't want to do that. Come spend your lunch break with us. We gonna have a we have a great time having these episodes, man. And last week we had a very very interesting conversation. Title of the episode was "Is It All a Dream?" Now I know that the lyric says it was all a dream, but we asked the question, is all a dream? Well, we're talking about spring practice highlights, and you guys are watching spring practice highlights no matter which team you are rooting for. Your spring practice highlights are ramping up, man. And we just asked the question: is it reality or is it just all a dream, man? So please go check that out. And if you tune in Thursday, we got another episode, and it's called "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number."
Mhm.
It should be a very interesting conversation. I'll give you guys a little teaser on it. Uh, we're talking about coaches and how
Okay.
old they are. Uh, and the premise is, do old are older coaches having success in this new NIL era? I think the results of this may shock some people. So please tune in for that one. That was going to be an interesting conversation, man. Interesting conversation. And in the chat, you see that link for those SECs and hoodies. Go ahead. These are available right now. They are produced and sold by IC Art Designs. You can check them out at icartdesigns.com and go grab you one, and you can go check out the website and grab some other stuff on there too. Everything's always available. And I'll tell you guys that this week right here is the last week that we're promoting hoodies. You can still purchase them, but this is the last week. It's getting hot, so we got to put some short sleeves on these guys, man. So
They burn it up.
yeah, man, they burn it up. Unless you like 18 or younger, then you probably can get away with it because they wear hoodies all year round. I don't understand it, but hey, more power to them. But yeah, man, if you want to pick up a hoodie, this is the last week that we're gonna be promoting the hoodies before we switch over to some more comfortable attire for the weather. Um, so go ahead and check out that link, that pin comment in the link if you want to purchase one, or you can head over to ICR Designs with a Z.com and check that out as well. And I think that's it, my guy. Yeah, I think that's it. And joining us, man, before we get started here, got my favorite insider, you guys' favorite insider. We got Ant, the insider.
Yes,
Ant, how you
sir.
doing, man?
Cold.
Cole, you on the where you at, man?
Oh, man, I'm up here in Wisconsin, man. It's cold, man.
In Wisconsin? Okay.
Wisconsin.
We we might I'm telling you, we might have to start a Where's Ant series, man, because you be all over the place, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm like
Um,
Visa, everywhere they want to be.
I like it. I like it. I was gonna say we lost Nick, but we got him back.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. So, hey, let's get into it, man. Let's not, hold these guys too much longer. I know they're ready for the main event today. And hold on a second. Let's get over here to this ranking stage real quick. All right. All right. So here's our big board. We already got that in place, right? So you see the games up there that we're gonna be talking about. Not as many as last time, right? Not as many as last time, but that's a good thing for us. That way we get to get through this quicker, and we may get to spend a little bit more time on some of these games because there's some. If you're looking at it, boy, there's some interesting matchups in week 3 uh, of this thing, man. This is really last week we had one SEC on SEC matchup. This week
Mhm.
in week 3 is when it the 2026 season is when it really, really ramps up and kicks off, man. So
Mhm.
by all means, check out the schedule, get that in your head so we can get started on this, man. Let me get queued up real quick. Um, so we can go ahead and start grabbing some votes. Um, while some people trickle into
Mhm.
here. So give me a second, real quick. All right. So there you have it, man. We already gonna start with the first game, man. Go ahead and get into it. We got the New Mexico State Lobos. Aren't they the Lobos? What is a
No, that's
Lobo?
NC State. That's NC State.
No. You're right. Not New Mexico State. NC State. What
The
what is
Wolf
NC
Pack.
State? The Wolf Pack. The Lobo
The
logos
Wolfpack.
is New Mexico, right?
Mhm.
Um, we'll get to that in a minute and define what a Lobo is because I have no idea. But anyway, so they're traveling to Vanderbilt, right? And they are taking on these Vanderbilt Commodores at home. All right. So you guys know how this works. All you got to do is type the name as is stated at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to vote for NC State, you type NC State. If you want to vote for Vanderbilt, you type the entire thing out. Uh, so type the name of the team that you would like to vote for. Who you think is going to win this game? It's very, very simple. No point spreads, no none of that. Who you think is going to win this game? And we already got my guy Nick voting for NC State to win this game, man. And I think I'm going the same way. But tell me about that one, Nick, because I got my reasons, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah, it all comes down to the quarterback position, man.
Right.
I mean, if Jared Curtis is going to be the starting quarterback for Vanderbilt, right? That would be his
Right.
third game starting in a college uniform. Now, Jared Curtis can come out here and be one of the best freshman quarterback we've ever seen in a long time, but that is very, very rare to see a true freshman come out and be that dynamic. And Vanderbilt has other problems on their football team, especially with the offensive line, not having enough depth. They do have Cedric Alexander. They do have Junior Sherrill, on that team. They lost Randall Fontenette on the defensive side of the ball. Martell Height is still over there with them as well. They lost a lot. Eli Stowers, who was one of probably the number one tight end in the country last year. You lose him. I just think Vanderbilt is taking a major step back to kind of build back up to what you saw the past 2 seasons from this team. So, I mean, I think NC State goes in there and gets a win against a team that was a 10-win team this past season, and that'll be a notch for NC State on their belt. So, yeah, I'm going NC State to win this game, man.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking the same thing. What about you, Ed?
Man, I can't disagree with nothing Nick said just then. Everything was spot on.
Okay. So no confidence in the Vanderbilt Commodores on the panel. And
I have
like
confidence. I have confidence in Clark Lee, but Clark
Okay,
Lee,
okay.
but Clark Lee ain't going out there to play the football game.
Right, he's not gonna
I
take
mean,
it
it might be a close game, but I mean, plus NC State got demolished last year by Vandy, so I mean,
He did.
they coming in with a little aggression, and I don't think the freshmen gonna hold up.
Yeah, man. Listen, Vandy's playing at home. They don't have a significant home field advantage in terms of like what we think about when we think of the rest of the SEC. Although it's better now because they had success and they're putting a little bit of money into the program. But I just don't think, man. I don't know. I think we see a bit of that old Vandy creep up, man. Offensive line depth is at a minimum for them. In true freshman, right? If you starting a true freshman, you definitely want to have the pieces on the offensive line to make it all work, right? I would feel better about this if they had a solid offensive line depth. Maybe 12 to 15 bodies in that room. I would feel better about it, but with 8 offensive linemen listed with a true freshman quarterback, I think this is a prime game for Vandy to lose. Looks like the chat is thinking the same thing. So we gonna call this one for Vandy, man, so we can get on to some of these great games because some of these games, some of these games are great, man. And we don't have any.
You got Vandy winning?
Oh no. Yeah, I made that mistake. You're right. You're right. Yeah, appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we got New Mexico winning this thing, and looks
NC
like
State.
NC State. I keep saying New Mexico because I'm looking at the thing, and it's their logos are very, very similar. We got 100% for them. So, all right. So let's move on to another game, man. And Huggy coming in saying NC State too. So, hey, we don't have to change anything. Everybody's high on NC State winning this game. So let's move on to let's get this one out of the way real quick. As a matter of fact, let's get all of these out of the way. Let's go to Texas and UTSA. I think I already know where this game is going. This vote is going. Again, you just type the name of the team you want to vote for in the chat. I started off clearly. I'm voting for Texas in this game.
Yeah.
I don't think that they will lose this game. But again, bro, I'm not. I just don't think. I don't think that this is the Texas team everybody is expecting to see this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those games you look up and it's like 21-20 at the half. Something
Mm.
crazy like that, 24-21 at the half, or some crazy like
I
that,
mean,
man.
wasn't they close to him last year?
They had a couple
UTSA?
slow. They had a couple slow starts in they games. Like the games after like it was last year it was a period of like 4 or 5 weeks where they played like opponents that weren't like on the same level of what you would consider to be tough opponents after they
Right,
played
right.
Ohio State, and they kind of struggled in those games.
Hmm.
Texas did.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do this year. I don't know.
So are they Georgia in that right? Where Georgia kind of looks pedestrian against inferior opponents, and then all of a sudden, once they play somebody, they look unbeatable.
But when did Texas look unbeatable last year?
Yeah, great point. That's what I'm saying.
I just
Are they
that's the
though?
I
only question. That's
mean,
the question.
if you're gonna compare those two, the only thing I can say is Texas start off slow like Georgia do, but Georgia always picks it up in the third quarter. So
That's true. That's true. Oh man, yeah, I'm looking at this game, man. Like I said, I expect it to be a win from Texas, but I am looking at one that Arch Manning and Cam Coleman connection. I want to see I want to see some fireworks, man. I want to see was it all worth it? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be
it
looking
Mm.
was
for.
all a
Actually,
dream. Oh,
that's what I'm gonna be looking for all season.
my
That's what I'm gonna be
bad,
looking
my
for all
bad.
season from Texas. Man. Be honest with you, was it worth it, bro? But looks like everybody has got Texas in this thing. Nobody's gonna be brave and pick an upset. I see. So,
Nope.
so we're gonna move Texas over there, and we're gonna give them their 100%, man, in the win column. All right. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Now, we're gonna go one right above that, right? The one right above
Yep.
that is Tennessee, and they're taking on Kennesaw State out of Georgia. Very, very new program. Um, I like I said, I got Tennessee winning this game. Um, it doesn't matter about the quarterback situation. For me, I think they out talent Kennesaw State. Now, make no mistake about it. Kennesaw State is gonna end up beating somebody.
Oh, agree.
They are putting money into that program. It's just a matter of time before they are actually. I wouldn't say a contender, but like they gonna make some noise, and they gonna upset one of your favorite teams. Maybe not this year, but next year and a couple of years to come. Uh, they gonna be. I ain't gonna say they'll be a problem, but that team is going to get better. Especially with NIL in place. Uh, what do y'all see about this game?
Nothing. Tennessee should get a W in this game. This should Tennessee should be able to come out here and do what they do best. They should be able where they come in and just tune up. As long as they do what they're supposed to do, and don't overlook the opponent. Because if they overlook the opponent, I think they have Texas the next week, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah,
so as long as they're not overlooking the opponent and they staying focused on this opponent in front of them, Kennesaw State, which they can't afford to overlook because they have a quarterback battle going on there.
that is very
The
true.
guy who's gonna be the trigger man. So I mean, whoever that guy is, if whoever the starter is at that time, that'll be what this will be game 3 for him at this point in
Yeah,
time.
game 3.
So still got to get settled in. Get him comfortable because it's a big game coming up after that. So man, nothing. Tennessee should come out here and get a win. Uh, pretty fairly easy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Looks like the entire chat agrees. Nobody's being brave, man. Will there be
Moving
one?
on, moving
No, there
on.
won't be one. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna put Tennessee in the win column, man, and give them their 100% here on their SEC's index here. All right. So now, let's go ahead and get all of these cupcake games out of the way. Now we can move to uh the Lobos. I kept wanting to say New Mexico State. So, well, New Mexico, actually, not New Mexico State. New Mexico is going to Oklahoma to take on that front seven. And I think everybody is going to pick Oklahoma in this game. Any reason why we should not pick on Oklahoma?
They played Michigan the week before. It'd probably be closer than everybody think.
I give you that. Probably by halftime. End of this game is gonna be. I think they're gonna win by like 30, 40 points. I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about this game. Oklahoma should win this game easily.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
like
all. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Uh,
unless they do what they did last year, in the first 3-4 weeks of the season when they just kind of you looked at
Kind of limp
Oklahoma.
through it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, okay, and that's what Texas A&M did too. Texas A&M did the same thing. You saw Texas A&M. You was like, they not really beating these teams like you think they should be beating these teams.
Right.
You
Right.
know, you know what I'm saying?
That-
So,
that-
Yeah,
that's
you
very
know,
true.
so
Very
unless
true.
that happens, I don't see anything. I think Oklahoma go out here and should get a fairly easy win, especially with Isaiah Satanga coming back.
Right.
Torrey Blaylock, another year in the system at running back, should be able to run the ball a little bit better, hopefully. And then John Mateer, yeah, they should be they should come out clicking and try to get some things rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. Cool. We're gonna move on, man. I don't see one in the chat. Nobody wants to be brave. I get it. So we're gonna put Oklahoma up there with their 100% SECs and index. And I think the last one that is just probably a gimme, but maybe it's not a gimme. Actually,
Nah,
we
yeah, I
gonna
don't know
talk
I
this.
about.
see. I
I'm
see.
just
I
gonna
We
see
gonna
say,
two.
talk about. We gonna talk about this one, man, because let's talk about Mizzou and Troy. Troy going into Missouri to take them on now. This is an interesting one. I mean, I'm still picking Missouri to win this football game.
yeah,
But I expect a better football game than probably most people will give credit for. Troy is a pretty good
easily,
team.
easily,
What do you guys
Yeah,
think
easily.
about this one, man?
Troy went to Clemson last year and almost beat Clemson.
They
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I mean, like
They
Troy's
did.
that type of school, man. It's that type of school. It's a school that if you don't like, now if you really don't stay focused on this opponent, it's a possibility you could get embarrassed.
Right.
This could be an upset. When you look at Missouri, you're breaking in Austin Simmons at quarterback.
Right.
Of course, you got Ahmad Hardy back at running back. But then you look at the defensive side of the ball, Zion Young gone, Chris McClellan gone, Damon Wilson transferred to Miami. So they have to do some things on that defensive side of the ball. Missouri has to do, and if you come into this game, not focused, man, Troy can you'll look up and next thing you know, Troy up 17-14,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say Troy gets the win on the road, but this game could be closer than what a lot of people feel. I
Yeah.
think it is. And if I were to pick an upset,
It'd be this one.
it would probably be this one. This would probably be the upset I would pick that week if I
That's
were to pick
fair.
Yeah.
one.
I
Troy is
think.
one of those teams in Alabama, man. If you guys are out there and you're not from Alabama, you're not familiar with Troy. Troy is like the first stop. Like if you got a player that's a French SEC player coming out of high school, but he doesn't get the offer he want, he 9 times out of 10 ends up at Troy.
Or
So
South.
is it
Or South.
or South? To be fair, yeah, South. They kind of split the state in two because South is, if you want to stay home, close to home, you'll go to South. If you want to stay close to home, and you're in North Alabama, you probably are picking Troy. Uh, but yeah, it's a lot of like French. I wouldn't even say French, but a lot of SEC talent on both of those
It
schools,
is.
man.
It is.
So
Mhm.
Troy is one that you don't schedule them for cupcakes. Like I don't know if Missouri
I
got the
say
memo on that.
I'm gonna give y'all a player to watch at Troy right now. Watch out for the quarterback, Kill Crease. I watched him in high school. He went to Brantley. I watched him in high school. He's a good quarterback. Real good
Okay.
Brantley
quarterback.
Bulldogs. The Brantley
Yes,
Bulldogs.
sir. Yes, sir. So I agree with Nick. If I was to pick a upset, this would probably be the one.
Yeah, for sure. Me too, man. All right, man. So I don't see anybody in chat being brave and gonna pick Troy. So we're gonna put they 100% up here. Now, right, if they pull off that upset, we gonna look bad, guys. Fans, us fans. uh,
Oh
but
well,
no.
man.
No, not at all. Let's get into some of the games, man, that are gonna garner some attention here, and it's gonna be very very interesting to talk about. If you guys are just now joining us, of course, we're picking each and every season. each and every single SEC contest throughout the year. We're going week by week. This is week 3. And once we put these up, all you got to do is type the name of the team that you think is going to win this game in the chat, and it'll register here live on the screen. And we're going to put it together, and we're going to compare it to the experts at the end of the year, man. So let's go ahead and move on to one, man. Any of these y'all want to go to first? Y'all can tell
Just
me.
pick one.
Let's pick one.
Yeah, let's pick it.
I say, you want a good game or we going?
Well, all of these games, all the rest of them are pretty good.
They conference games,
I
so it don't matter.
say LSU. I say LSU or Ole Miss, unless you was gonna save it.
And that's fireworks. I kind of want to say that one. That's
Okay,
that's one of my most anticipated games I want to watch this year. I want to that game right there will get my attention. Let's do this. Let's in the words of Drake, let's start at the bottom. Now we here. So let's go to that would mean we're going to Texas A&M. So we're going down to College Station. Let's take a trip down to College Station real quick. Let's get them up on the board. Boom. Trip to College Station. Kentucky is coming in fresh off that matchup with Alabama, who I have them winning. But they're going on the road to take on a Texas A&M team. And I think, most people, I expect this to be a heavy Texas A&M lean. I'm going to pick Texas A&M to win this game. And again, you have to type the name exactly as it shows up there. So I didn't want you guys to have to type out Texas A&M. So just type TAMU if that's who you want to vote for. Yeah, I am. What do you guys think about this game, man? Because this is interesting. Now, you know what we said about the Alabama game when it came in terms of playing Kentucky. But here's Kentucky, again, with Will Stein coming in with that new offense, with that number 2 SEC transfer portal class coming into College Station to take on a college football playoff team from last year. What do you guys see in this game, man? Which way you leaning?
I actually want to go Kentucky in this game.
Do you?
I do. I actually want to. And I'm trying, in my mind, when I look at these games,
are you trying to talk yourself out of it or into it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk myself. I'm trying to talk myself out of it.
Okay.
Because when I look at both sides of the ball, you look at Texas A&M, right? Texas A&M, Marcel Reed's back. Ruben Owens, the running back, is back. Trey Zoon is gone off that offensive line. Concepcion is gone in the wide receiver core, but you do bring in Isaiah Horton. You got Craver back. When you look on the defensive side of the ball, the pass rush was generated from Cassius Howell. Cassius Howell is gone, and Scooby Williams is gone. A lot of guys on that defense are gone, so they're gonna be breaking in some guys. But Mike Elko is one of the I consider one of the top defensive minds in college football. So I don't think he'll have any problem trying to figure out and how to fill those holes there. But something tells me about this Kentucky team that
they're gonna beat somebody.
Feel like, yeah, and for some reason, I'm getting vibes in this game. I didn't pick them to beat Alabama last week.
Right.
Even though I was close to doing it. But something tells me that. But I think that Alabama Kentucky game is going to be very, 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 very electric.
Okay.
I think Kentucky go on the road and get a big win, man. Kenny Minchie, Nick Anderson, wide receiver. You got CJ Baxter. I can't remember. The other running back name is missing me. Is slipping my mind right now. I mean, you look at what they brought in on the offensive line and Colson Price and Shabola and all those guys. They brought in some guys that a lot of people wanted and people that have played a lot of college football. And then they went in and kind of I don't know on the defensive side of the ball if they went and got guys that I don't know if they went and got a guy on the defensive side of the ball in the front seven that could be a game changer, but they got a lot of great depth pieces, a lot of great role player type guys. And I just the way that you saw Will Stein call plays when he was at Oregon, man,
solid play caller. Sure.
Yeah, man. And I just look at what Texas A&M defense potentially could look like. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and just put Kentucky in. I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna go Kentucky gets a big win on the road at Texas A&M. And I say this, I'm my reference to this is when you look at teams like Auburn last year, when you look at teams like Mississippi State, when you look at those type of teams that went in and played against Texas A&M on the road,
Mm.
like those were games going into the fourth quarter. You know, like Mississippi
Right.
State was in a game with Texas A&M going into the fourth quarter. Mississippi State was in a game with a lot of people going into the fourth quarter.
They were.
Uh, things like that. Auburn was in a game with them going into the fourth quarter, and I just look at it and I just be like, could Kentucky go ahead? Could this be like a program changing type win for them against a previous, college football playoff team? Now, yeah, I'm gonna say Will Stein and Kentucky go in and get a big win on the road against Kentucky, man. I'm gonna rock with that one.
Right. I like it. I like it. Like I said, I don't know if this game is as cut and dry as it seems. I would love to pick Kentucky. I just think playing at in College Station, man, it may be a bit much for him. And how good can this Kentucky offense be? How good can Will Stein get these guys up by week 3 of the season? Um, but even having said that, though, like I picked them to beat Alabama, so that means they're gonna have to be pretty decent if they want to do that. Uh, but I still think that Texas A&M wins this one. Just simply, if it was the other way around, if they were playing at Kentucky, I may actually lean Kentucky in this game. But going on the road, I'm gonna have to go with Texas A&M, man. What about you, Ant? It looks like in the chat, well, we got Nick as the lone Kentucky vote, and so it's 80-20 right now, man. So you guys make sure you're getting your votes in so that we can get a good number on this, man. What you think about this one, Ant?
See, I'm the opposite of Nick. I kind of want to talk myself into saying Kentucky, but I can't. I just, I just think Craven and Reed they're gonna have a game. Like we still don't know about Kentucky's defense. I mean, that's up in the air. Then they're gonna have the game with Bama. Like if they beat Bama, they might coming off that high, they might push and beat A&M, but I don't see it, bro. Like I just got too many questions about their defense right now.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I think the Alabama game may take a lot out of them either way that game goes. Uh, so it looks like Texas A&M is going to take this one. Uh, so I give you guys just a few more seconds to get a number up there, and those few seconds are up. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and put their SEC's index at 80%, which is a fair number. I think we're probably maybe closer game than that. Um, and I think maybe like a 60-40 would be a little bit more accurate for that game if I just had to pick a number. Uh,
Mm,
but
mm.
but let's go with it, man. Let's go with it. All right. So the next matchup we're gonna go to, man. Let's just go ahead and clear this column out right here, and
Okay.
we're gonna go to South Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at South Carolina, they have Mississippi State Bulldogs coming into the building. Now, last week I just put Miss State up there, but you guys spelled it all out, so I just left it like it is now. So you got to spell it all the way out. If you don't know how to spell Mississippi, it's written right there. And if you don't know how to spell Mississippi, did they not teach y'all that song as a kid? Oh, it's real simple. But yeah, should be an interesting game, man. You got Lenore Sellers, who Ann is high on, and Nick is not, which is an interesting conversation. You got Lenore Sellers coming with that Art Browse, not Art Browse, but Kendall Browse system. Uh, at South Carolina, looking to score a lot more points than they did. And then you have Mississippi State with Jeff Lebby and new quarterback in Kamario Taylor. They are looking to maintain the offensive production that they have. They're looking to take that next step, right? So their trajectory is that they'll be a better team than they were last year. And if they are a better team than they were last year, this is a game that's going to be highly competitive. Um, I'm I'm not sure where I'm leaning on this game. I think I want to lean Mississippi State to come in there and get a win. Uh, looks like the chat is split 50-50, and that's fair. Oh, wow, man.
Oh, I
This
haven't
is
given
an
my vote yet.
interest yeah,
I haven't
this is
given
an
my
interesting one, man. I gotta think about this one. What do you guys think about this game?
Oh yeah, I'm going Mississippi State to win this game.
Okay.
I got Mississippi State winning this game. I think Kamario Taylor is going to be the difference maker in this game. I think they have probably the better running back situation with Fluff Bothwell.
Okay.
I
Fair.
think I think I think I think the bringing in Zach Arnett was the difference for them for Mississippi State. Because the thing about it was, like, you look at State last year, they didn't have a problem scoring. That
They
was not
didn't.
their problem. Problem
No,
was
they
stopping
didn't.
people. Like, their problem was being able to hold on to leads. And so now you bring Zach Arnett back, as the defensive coordinator, and that's all he has to focus on. He doesn't have to be the head coach. All he has to do is just focus on the defensive side of the ball. And then you look at what they brought in the transfer portal. They brought in a lot of depth in the transfer portal as well, and things stuff of that nature on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, give me Mississippi State to go in and get a big win on the road at South Carolina, man.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning Mississippi State just simply because I think that, man, Lenore Sellers has got to be 2024 Lenore Sellers for them to win this football game.
The stats tell you that. And
It's gotta
it's
be.
not. And it's not even, and the funny part about it, it's not even his passing stats. It's his rushing stats. You
Oh,
look at
is it?
2024 rushing stats, Lenore Sellers. You look at 2025 rushing stats, Lenore Sellers. That's the difference in them. Basically, that was the difference in them winning 4 games.
But it
You
also
know,
it also was a difference of like 20-some sacks between those seasons.
like that
So
part,
so they
dude.
got to keep them upright is one thing. What about you, man? Well, how you leaning towards this game, man? Looks like the chat still's kind of split.
Man, y'all know who I'm pulling for, man.
You got
Lenore
Lenore.
with Lenore with a 75-250 game, man.
Come on, Ant.
This
You
will be
cannot believe this, bro.
this will
Stop.
be
Stop it.
listen,
Stop it,
listen,
man. Ant, come on, bro.
listen, man.
Let's be real
This
about
will
this.
be
Let's be real
this will
now. Come
be
on.
this will be Nick Harbor's coming out game.
Nick
Okay.
Harbor only run the same routes that a previous wide receiver that was at Auburn was running.
Hey,
Which
you know
routes are
what?
those, Nick?
You're
Just
right.
straight 9 routes. That's all he
You're
was
right.
running, man.
He
Come
runs
on,
Cam
man.
Coleman routes. You're right.
I didn't say no name. You said
But
it. I could have been talking about
nah,
somebody else.
I
Everybody was running those routes, to be fair.
They kind of were. You got a point. They kind of were
mhm.
running that. That's what I'm saying.
But I think the difference is it's gonna be Art Browse, man. I mean
Okay.
not Art Kendall. Because if you look at it, even when he was at Arkansas, that was the year he had KJ Jefferson, right?
Right.
They ran. I mean, he did a lot of quarterback runs, and the thing that killed Lenore last year was like Nick said, the rushing yards. Shula didn't run him like that, so I think that's gonna be the difference.
Yeah. I mean, I want to agree with that, and I really do, because I like Lenore Sellers. Uh, but I have to go with Mississippi State, man.
Hey man, I feel
Just
you.
because week 3, man, you come in there with Kendall Browse, you know, can you get that offense together and up and humming by week 3? Because one thing I know, I don't know. We don't know anything about the season, but I just got a feeling that Jeff Levy's gonna come out of the gate with that offense,
Yeah,
putting
Mm-hmm.
up numbers,
and,
man. Like they,
and with
they got
Arnett and,
with
and with
Arnett coming back
Arnett
on
at D,
defense and that
yeah,
running game still in place, man. I think this is a tough task. For South Carolina, I think one of the only advantages that they have in this football game is that it's in their building. Other than that, and their quarterback may be better than Kamario Taylor, but other than that, man, everything else points to Mississippi State. So I'm gonna go with Mississippi State in this game. Uh, put my vote in there, let it be known. Looks like it's a 75-25 split on this one. So 75% of the people are saying that, hey, Mississippi State's gonna take this one. You got 25% representing South Carolina. Uh, so we're gonna call that one so we can move on, man. Making good progress on this, actually. Call this one for Mississippi State here. Let's get them over there. And then their SEC's an index would be, we got 75% for them. So put them over there, 75%. Okay.
Georgia.
All right, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that one out of the way, man. So we're gonna travel to Fayetteville, Arkansas, where Fayetteville, Arkansas, where they're gonna host the Georgia Bulldogs, right? Let's get them up on the screen. All right. So there it is. We got Georgia taking on Arkansas. I got a feeling everybody's gonna pick Arkansas in this. I mean, pick Georgia in this football game. If y'all just not joining us, whatever team you think is gonna win, you just type it in the chat, and then your votes gets registered live on the screen, like Miss Karen just did, and you saw her vote right there show up on the Georgia side. So, go ahead and do that, man. Listen, I don't. If history serves me correct, I don't expect Georgia to blow Arkansas off the field. It's too early in the season. They play with their food a lot early in the season. I expect us to watch this game and say, I don't know about Georgia for the rest of the year. uh, I expect the exact same thing. Arkansas, Taylor Green is a talent. Without him, I have some questions.
That's fair. A fair statement.
But I do think they're going to be an improved team, though. I really do. How much so improved? I have not. Like Arkansas is an interesting one because they fired a coach who I don't necessarily think deserved to be fired at the time.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. Like they're not gonna go out there and beat Georgia in week 3. That's that plain and simple. I'm gonna go with Georgia in this football game. But what do you guys think about this one, man?
You know, when you look at everybody knows Georgia's roster. You know, this basically the same guys that played last year at Georgia are the guys that's back.
Right.
You know, you had a couple of guys transfer out. You didn't really see Georgia bring in a lot of transfers
It didn't.
per se, which means that they kind of feel great about what they have on their roster. But when you look at what Arkansas did, man, when you look at what Arkansas did in the portal, they went out and got a lot of guys that have like senior transfers, like guys that are going to be seniors but transfers this year, like on
Right.
both sides of the ball, like guys that were juniors in transfers that were juniors will be seniors this year, or sophomores that will be juniors this year that played some significant snaps and everything. I mean, you can't discount that, man. You can't discount the fact, especially in this era of college football, you can't discount the fact of guys that have played significant amounts of football, you know? And the thing about Arkansas is we can't sit here and act like Arkansas has not been has been an easy out for any school, for anybody they played.
True.
You know, this was the number one offense in the SEC at one point in time, you know, for a majority of the season at one point in time.
You got to score 40 to beat them.
Yeah,
Last year you had to score 40 to beat them.
Yeah, you know,
pretty much.
I mean, I want to put stock into what they brought in in the transfer portal side, like and things of that nature. But man, yeah, I gotta agree with you, man. I think the only reason why I'm sitting here having, like, I'm not gonna say doubts, but the only reason why I'm sitting here just kind of have like a thought process behind it is because it is early in the season for Georgia, and Georgia normally struggles before week 4. Like, just historically, before week 4, Georgia just normally does not have it just don't look good. And then that's when you start having questions about them. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna still pick Georgia to win this game. So
yeah.
But yeah, let me just go ahead and put it in the chat, Georgia. That's who I
Yeah.
got.
How you feel about this one, Ant?
All reliable in a blowout.
In the blowout. I don't know if it's a blowout.
I don't know if it's a blowout, bro.
If I'm a betting man, week 3, Georgia at Arkansas, I may take Arkansas plus the points.
Yeah, it depends on what that point spread is too, though.
It's probably gonna be an astronomical number. It's probably gonna be a 2 score, maybe 10.
I was about to say, if it's 10.5, would you take that 10.5?
Probably still take 10.5.
If it's 9.5, would you take Arkansas plus the points 9.5?
That would give me a little pause.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
The only reason I say a blowout is for the reasons that Nick brought up, because this is basically the same team from last year.
Right, right.
So usually Georgia slow start. Georgia usually they have
Wow.
It's that I need that Tyra Banks meme. We were rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you.
Oh man.
It's funny.
It's a running joke now, but yeah, man. So Ant, he'll pop back in. Trust me, he will. Uh, but he was making a solid point, man. Like they do. They a lot of times they are breaking in a lot of new talent at the beginning of the
Mhm.
year, because they send a lot of people to the NFL. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's true.
they have to return. They have to turn over talent. For that a lot, man. But man, yeah, like I said, I just don't think Arkansas will be ready by week 3 to beat the Georgia. I think Georgia still takes this one. And so we gonna go ahead and give them they just do and move the Georgia Bulldogs over to the win column here. And it looks like there's nobody that believes in Arkansas. No votes in the chat. So we are going to give them 100% on the SEC's index there. All right. So we're just tad. All right, boom. All right, man. So these next 3 games are probably, I would say, the most exciting games of week 3.
I would have to agree with you. I
Um,
have to agree with you.
what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get those guys in Tuscaloosa out of the way.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, right? And they're taking on FSU. A team that made them look pretty bad last year in week 1 of the season. They're looking
Yep.
for revenge in their building. There's no Gus Malzahn at Florida State anymore.
Nope.
So I don't know if they'll have to worry about defending that read option scheme that they had trouble with in week 1. Um, and I think, like I said, I have them losing to Kentucky uh,
Mhm.
because they're looking at this game.
Interesting.
I think a lot of Alabama's game plan. I don't know. And I don't know this for sure, so I'm not saying this. Again, we are all fans, so I'm just speculating and stating my opinion. But I think a lot of what you're going to see in the fall from Alabama in fall camp is going to be geared towards beating Florida State. Um, and yeah, I think Alabama wins this game at home. Um, I think
Wow.
Alabama wins this game at home. So we got to vote. We got Huggy voting for Florida State in this game. Which is fair, man. How you guys feel about this? Is going to be a very very interesting game. When week 2, Sunday after the week 2 games, they're immediately going to start talking about this football game. Almost
Mhm.
immediately, all week. That's what the narrative is
Yep.
going to be. This football game right here. So, what do you guys think about this one?
Bro, man, like
I'm gonna put Alabama in the chat. I think they'll win it.
I think so too. I think Alabama's gonna win this game. And even though the quarterback position at Florida State seems to be a little bit more I think it's more solidified than what is going on at Alabama. Because I think Ashton Daniels is probably going to end up being a starter at Florida State.
Right,
Um, I'm, I mean, losing your offensive coordinator before the spring, and
right,
now Norvell is gonna have to go back to calling plays.
right.
Not to mention the year that he was calling plays, they went undefeated. If
True.
I'm not mistaken, he went undefeated. Um, but you can't deny the fact that Alabama has to replace literally every single position in their front seven on the defense side of the ball.
They have.
Like they have to replace every single every single position on the front seven.
I think the
Like
only piece of continuity that's there is Yonze Pierre. He wasn't a
yeah,
starter,
and he wasn't a starter.
but he
I don't
did
even.
play
I don't even
significant snaps.
he has significant steps. So everybody he plays significant steps, but they got to replace every single starter in that front
Right,
seven.
right. True.
Um, Man, bro, like, is Austin Mack who we think is Austin Mack who a lot of people think he is? Is Keelan Russell who a lot of people think he is? You know, I mean, that's question marks. These guys haven't played against, well, Austin Mack played against Indiana in the college football playoff, but that was literally just like in mop up. The game was already won by Indiana. Will Alabama commit to running the football? They got a stable of backs back there.
It's a big
AKA
question.
here, Daniel Hill. Like they got guys back there that they can, run the football with. Man, you know what? I think Alabama gonna get their revenge in this game. I wouldn't be. I'm tell you this: if you ask me the question of would I be surprised if Florida State wins this game, I would be pleasantly shocked if they did win, but I wouldn't be like all the way off the chart surprised. Like it wouldn't be like, oh my god, Florida State winning. No, I would be like, okay. I would. I
Okay.
would be. I would. It would be something like that. But
Right.
I'm gonna still go Alabama to win this game. Alabama to win this football game against Florida State. I'm still go Alabama to win.
Yeah. How about you, Ant? What'd you think about this one, man?
Hmm. This is a battle of the team with the most question marks,
Okay.
and I think push come to shove, losing Gus may be the reason I choose Bama to win.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's a great reason. Because I would say Gus is the reason that Florida State won last year.
Yeah,
Right.
man, a big reason why.
Nah, with his shot, I'm like Nick. It wouldn't really. Now, to me, it wouldn't really shock me if Florida State wins because they have a stable of running backs too,
Okay.
and they have a good defense, and they don't have to replace as many on the line as Bama does.
Right.
But again, I think the loss of Gus is gonna hurt them worse than all those questions there.
That's fair. That's fair. Again, guys, if you just not tuning in, man, please, we're voting on the Florida State versus Alabama game. All you got to do is type which team you think is going to win in the chat, and it'll register right there, live on the screen, right there at the bottom. Under where it says who wins, you'll see it. Um, right now, we got 75% of the people saying that Alabama's going to win. We got 25% of people saying that Florida State is going to take this one. This is an interesting game, man. Like this is, you got the revenge factor. You also have the home field effect, the home field factor. All right, you get down when you go to Tallahassee, and they start picking up third downs, and that Seminole chop start ringing out through that stadium. It turns into a very very raucous environment. Um, Now they're going to be coming into Alabama, where every time they pick up a first down, they scream out those 2 4-letter curse words. Uh, yeah, they're gonna have Dixieland Delight at full volume. Uh, I just I if Gus was there, I probably would maybe lean Florida State, maybe, and it's still a maybe because I do respect home field environments. Uh, but I just think that is Alabama's gonna take this one. But like you said, like you guys both iterated, man, it's a lot of question marks. Who's gonna be the quarterback? How good are they gonna be? Right? Because I think that your quarterback has to be fairly decent. Like, that's why I'm high on Ty Simpson, because I think Ty Simpson is a great quarterback. Like, whenever you don't have a running game and you're not even committing to the run game, your quarterback has to be amazing. And can they get that type of production from Keelan or Austin? I don't know. It'll be their first years in this offense taking significant snaps. So, and then this is still very early in the season. I still think Alabama takes this one probably in a. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was about to call the score. Um, not necessarily the score, but a win margin, man. Do you think Alabama wins this by more than 2 scores, more than 10
No,
points?
I mean it's a possibility they can. It's a possibility
Right.
they can because I don't think a lot of people have that the faith in Florida State like they did last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's a possibility. They can't. I like if you look at these rosters, if you look at both of those rosters together, right? I think you would
Right.
give. I think you give the roster wise. I think you give the edge to Alabama. I think you would.
Mm-hmm.
Running game wise, I think you would give it to
Yeah.
Florida State. You know, Osman Krumah back there running the football, he gonna be let
Mm-hmm.
loose. I think you give the run game the edge to them. But I mean, like if Alabama, like if Alabama's running game is what a lot of people think it can be, I mean, you
Mhm.
probably sit there and say you probably get an edge to Alabama. I mean, looking at the rosters together, yeah, I think you get an edge to Bama in that situation,
Yeah.
man. But the thing
I
is, man, you
because if
lose
you
Gus Malzahn, you lose your offensive coordinator
And
literally
you
like a
lose,
month
and,
before, a month
right,
before
right.
and
the
you
spring
lose
practice
Earl
start.
Little, and you lose Earl Little Jr. too.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of
very
question
true.
marks.
Yeah, very
It's a
true.
lot of question marks for Florida State. Now there are question marks for Alabama as well. You know, don't get it twisted, especially at the quarterback position. You know, offensive line position as well. They lost a lot of guys in the portal from the line, but from the
Mm-hmm.
offensive line. And like I stated, man, that front seven for Alabama knows no returning starter. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
so
But like you said, talent for talent is still a wash, right? It's still you're still looking at Alabama's roster and saying, "Hey, I take that roster
you probably take that
over
roster
Florida
more.
State
You
roster."
probably take that roster, yeah.
Yeah, over a lot of teams, not just Florida State. You know,
But what would be
they are a talented team.
what would be the one deciding factor where you would be like, all right, I Florida State has a chance
Secondary.
in this game. Like, what
Oh,
would be the one deciding
for
factor where
Florida
you look
State,
at Florida State and be like, Florida State got a chance to win this game? Like, are you
line of scrimmage.
are you sitting here saying that Ashton Daniels is that much better than the two guys that they have at Alabama in the quarterback room?
How well can they run the
Mm-mm.
football? Is me
Okay,
Yeah.
because
if that's the case, then you would probably say Florida State.
yeah, but I don't know. You know, it does. How much does the scheme change? Is it a scheme difference? You know what I
And
mean? Or
let's
is
be
it just
real.
a
Alabama's not running the football this year. We talking about it just because,
no, no,
but we
no?
know
I'm
that they're
talking
not gonna
about
run the football.
He
I'm
talking about
talking about
Florida
Florida
State.
State.
Oh, Florida State. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know that Alabama. Like, listen, I just believe that that's not in his philosophy to run the
Mm-hmm.
football. I don't think he wants to run it. I think he wants to run the ball, but not in the way that we are accustomed to seeing in the SEC. Um, in this very pass happy system, and he's dynamic at drawing the passing plays. They run the ball through the air a lot of short, quick passes they do from time to time. But if Florida State has a dynamic running game coming to him, which they have a dynamic back in Chroma, and then we know that Ashton Daniels can pick him up and put him down too. Big physical kid. If they can get that, if that's the dynamic coming into this game where they're playing off each other and gaining significant rushing yards with any semblance of a defense, and they can control this game, I think it spells trouble for Alabama.
But here's the
Uh,
thing, though. Also think about it too, like coaches, like head coaching wise too. Like which
mm,
coach is trying to win this game more? Like the perceived pressure that it is for Kalen DeBoer to go out here and win a national championship versus
right.
everybody know the pressure that Mike Norvell is under. So which
It's
coach
do
comes
or
out
die.
here, you know,
Right.
like if Mike Norvell wins this game again, you know, 2 years in a row, and this kind of propels them, you know, it propels them in the season more than kind of like derails the season because they had the big win last year, but then at in the middle part of the season, it just kind of nosedive. You know,
Yeah.
I believe it was that Virginia game that Florida State had when old buddy caught the ball, but he didn't get both feet in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's
I
what it was.
remember that.
I believe the game was played on like a Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. That Virginia game that Florida State went and lost on the road at
Yeah.
Virginia. So like my thing is like which like does this kind of propel Florida State, upward for the rest of the season? If they win this
How
game in week 3 instead of winning it in week 1.
man, hey, if they win this game in week 3 this year, if they go to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama, um, uh, unlike last year, I think that Florida State will be a problem. Like there will be you're gonna be circling Florida State on your schedule.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's
Yeah.
a major difference from playing the team in week 3, even though it's only 2 weeks, than fresh out of fall camp, and it's the first person that you see, and it's Gus Malzahn in that read option.
Very
Like,
true. Very true.
it's just not it's almost unfair, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Yeah. Like I said, I picked Alabama to win this game, man. But Florida State,
So,
they like I said, they both have a lot of questions, man.
so y'all don't think it would come to the line of scrimmage though? Like
I do.
with
But
everything we saying,
Alabama's replacing their
if
entire front seven
Alabama,
on defense.
yeah, and I mean Florida State got to start the passing game, but if they can't get no pressure, then we
It's true.
all know how that's gonna turn out.
It's true. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna
true,
stick with
man.
Alabama. I'm gonna stick with Alabama to get the W here, man. But
Yeah,
like I said, I would be I wouldn't. I'd be pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be pleasantly surprised if Florida State go ahead and get this W,
yeah.
get the win. I'm
I
picking
gotta be.
Alabama.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I picked Alabama. I gotta be honest with who I think will win this game. Everything in me, all of the orange and blue in me, wants to pick Florida State to win
Hmm.
this football game. It'd be very easy for me to do so, but I'm trying to be accurate. So yeah, my honest opinion, I think that Alabama will win this game because I think one factor I'm factoring in that I think they're going to be coming off of. I think they'll be coming off a
All right.
loss against Kentucky, but
Mm-hmm.
even if they don't lose, I think it's going to be a very physical football game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So man, this is one of those that could go either way. But we gonna call this one, man. Uh, because Huggy saying that he should have been starting for AU. I think he puts the nation on notice. He's talking about Ashton Daniels.
Yeah.
We got Tim the Two Man checking in. Tim, you checked in just in time because your favorite team is next. So, oh man. So we gonna call this one for Alabama right now, man. And get them their win on this big board here. We're gonna give them the W with a 75% SECZN index. Now, it's just kind of strange because last week it was a 55% SECZN index for Kentucky for the Kentucky game. But this is at home, right? So
So basically, you said Kentucky is on. So that makes my Kentucky pick more legit then, because
it does.
you just basically told me that Kentucky is a harder is a more tougher opponent than what Florida State is perceived to be.
Mm.
I think
Interesting.
I think
But
it,
I didn't
I
say
think it's
that. The
because it's
people
less
said that.
questions. Yeah, I think it's because you have less questions about Kentucky though.
No,
I think
you got the same amount of questions as Kentucky. It's just it's probably if not more. I mean, you
yeah,
start you in Kentucky, you bring in a new head coach, new defense coordinator, new quarterback, brand new running backs, brand new receivers, brand new interior offensive line. Like the defense is there's a lot of questions at Kentucky, and for
so
you and for the index to say that they believe that Alabama will have a tougher game against Kentucky than they will against Florida State is crazy.
let
It
me ask
makes
you
me
this.
look great. I'm just gonna say that.
Now that you said that, I do want to ask you this question though. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how tough are these two games, Kentucky and Florida State? Where would you rank them is in toughness for Alabama to win?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, because when you take like you gotta take into account that they gotta go on the road and play Kentucky. And you look at
Right,
what Kentucky did last year with Cutter Bowley at quarterback.
right.
And what they did against Texas, winning what they won the game 16-13. They lost that game
Yeah,
16-13
Yeah,
they
in
had them on life
overtime.
support.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then they went to Auburn and beat Auburn, and
Yeah,
they didn't allow Auburn to score a touchdown in that game.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at them like, yo, like Kentucky might be the hardest. I mean, to this point, Kentucky might be the harder game.
You think so?
Because like you look at it and you sit here and say, man, like Florida State, like the biggest, like we just talked about, the biggest question about Florida State is the fact that you lost your coordinator a month before spring practice.
Hmm.
Right, right.
And you breaking in a new quarterback. Osman Kruma is probably going to be the full-time running back. What does the offensive line look like for Florida State? I think it's going to be good. I think Florida State front. I think Florida State is going to have a pretty good front four on defense. But Auburn has Shamar Arno, who was a contributor
Uh,
for them last year.
he was.
And Earl of the Junior
And Earl
gone.
is gone.
Uh,
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
who was huge in that football game in
yes,
week
Exactly.
1 against Alabama. He was
yes.
one of the primary reasons that they were able to come out with a win. Um, Man, this is interesting, man. This is an interesting game. I see a couple people just jumped in. Guys, if you don't know what we're doing here, we're picking each and every SEC matchup throughout the season. We're doing it week by week. Right now, we're on the Alabama and Florida State game. I was getting ready to call it, but I will give you guys a couple seconds if you want to put your vote in. All you got to do is vote. To vote is just type the name of the team that you think is going to win. You think Florida State is
How
going to take it? Just type Florida State in the chat. You think Alabama's going to win it? You type Alabama in the chat, and it'll register right there at the bottom under who wins. It'll register live there.
Hug-
But it's
Huggy
an
said we
interesting game.
tripping.
Let's
Huggy
see.
said we tripping. That's the Florida State coming out of him.
Let's see. Is it, bro? UK ain't gonna be a tougher win than FSU. Y'all tripping righteously. I think I don't know. I think that Florida State. I put it like this: if you had to ask,
Oh,
if
it
you ask
changed.
me,
It changed. It's 60-40 now. It changed.
yeah, see, yeah. So if you ask me who was a better team, I would probably pick Florida State over Kentucky, like without even thinking about it. But
Uh-huh.
in terms of this game, week 2 going to Kroger Field and playing, and what we saw from Kentucky, like Nick stated, what they did with Texas. Um, like just they are a tough team. They're not an easy win in most cases, in a lot of cases, and I just think that, like I said, I think that Alabama is going to overlook that game. I think they're geared up. Listen, that Florida State game left a bad taste in everybody who puts on Crimson's mouth.
Yes, it
Wow.
did.
Every single one. If you own any piece of houndstooth anything, you want to win this Florida State game. I can guarantee you that. So if it's in one game that I think that they're gonna get up for, uh, it's gonna be this Florida State game.
No,
Yeah.
and even look at what Kentucky did against Tennessee last year. Tennessee went to Kroger Field, and they had to put up 59 points, if I'm not mistaken, to win that game. And
Yeah,
Kentucky
Yeah.
put up 40 points in that game. Like,
that's very
I was
true.
just I'm sitting there saying, like,
I,
Kentucky ain't no pushover now. Like,
I
it's not a
mean,
pushover. They're not a pushover team.
and then
Word.
Will Stein. Then you got Will Stein to add to whoever the OC is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you got to
I,
think
I,
Florida State lost Gus, man. That's a big. That's
bro,
gonna be a big loss, bro.
I don't even think that a lot of teams knew that Will Stein was even an option
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
to come in and be a
Except the
head
Kentucky
coach.
people. Except the Kentucky
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, because Will Stein is a hell of a play caller, man. And I think there's a lot of jobs that had he just been an option from the get go, he probably would have got looks at. And I
Yeah.
don't know if he got any more looks. We don't know what interviews he went on and all that. It could have been more than that. But it was surprising. That was one of the shocking ones for me when they said, "Oh, they getting Will Stein." It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That came out of left field, and that's an interesting one.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. You got Huggy saying how glorious it was. It was glorious watching Bama Nation melt down last year. I mean, you know what side of the track I land on. So you know how I felt about that game. All right, so we're gonna call it, man. We had it at 75%. We had a vote come in late, changed it to 60%. So 60% of the you guys think that Alabama's gonna win this. That gives their SEC's index a 60% in this game. All right, so guys, what do you want to do next? Right, we got 2 games. We got the LSU Ole Miss game, which I think is going to be must see TV, and we got the
Let's do.
Florida and Auburn game, which I
Let
also think
let
is going to be must see TV.
G
So it's
five
your
G
choice.
five versus G5.
Okay, we can get that one out the way. Let's go ahead on and let's go to Jordan Hare, guys. Let's go to Jordan Hare. All right, so let me reset this because
Could
it
possibly be game of the week.
yeah, could be. So we're gonna reset this real quick. Boom. All right, we got Huggies vote for Auburn in all caps. So man, this is gonna be. I know for Auburn, I don't want to speak for all Auburn fans, but I know for a lot of them, including myself, like this is one of the games that I'm looking at intently because this is a coach that was headed to Auburn, right? You know, we're playing a coach that was headed to Auburn. For all reports say, you know, he may have been the guy that we were looking for. He goes to Florida State. He goes to Florida. We end up with Alex Golesh, which I think is, you know, probably the best coach that we could have got.
Yay.
Yeah, I really do. I think I'm really high on Golesh right now. Um, so in Jordan Hare, historically, it's been a tough place to play. In recent history, not so much. But that building's gonna be rocking and rolling for that game, man. You got, you know, both teams installing new systems, new players, new faces. Uh, yeah, if you watch Water Cooler Talk Sports, Nick did a great job of illustrating how much of uncertainty there is down at Florida State around the quarterback position, even though they do have Aaron Philo in the building. They bring Buster Faulkner with them as well. Auburn essentially brings their entire offense. Golders brings his entire offense essentially with him to the Plains, retaining DJ Durkin. I expect that defense to, you know, to continue upon what they were building upon and be great. I'm picking Auburn in this game. I don't. I'm just, you know, trying to give you guys some reasons, but I probably could have started with that. I'm picking Auburn in this game. Um, should I not pick Auburn in this game? Do you guys feel the same way I feel about this one?
Yeah, these two teams are kind of the same, but flip backwards. When you look at them,
Bruh.
you look at Auburn's offense. Auburn is bringing in. I think you only have one guy that's returning as a starter on the offensive side of the football.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, you're breaking in as starters
Right.
on this team, but they come from a system that they've been together in the system for at least 2 years together at some point in time.
Right.
Um, you look at Florida's offense. Florida is replacing uh potentially 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen on their offense from last year, but they do have Jaden Baugh. They do have
They do.
Jaden Baugh. Ran for 1,000, rushed for 1,000 yards last year in the SEC. Um, you know, then you get to the defense side of the ball, man. Florida basically has everybody that was, but not Tyreek Sapp is gonna, like, those names that you heard last year
Yeah.
are gone. But the projected guys that are projected to start were in the rooms last year. You know, I think they only have like Kamani McClain. Kamani McClain was a part of that Florida secondary room last year. I think they had like maybe 2 or 3 guys that they probably will be breaking in at the starter position on the defense side of the ball. Same thing with Auburn. Auburn is probably going to be breaking in 2 new corners potentially as starters.
True.
But everybody else that's going to play has been in the room, you know, as was in the room last year. You know, you talk about Deshaun Womack, yeah, he was somewhere else last year and things, stuff of that nature. But besides that, everybody in Auburn's front 7 was in the room last year. And even when you look at the 2 safeties, everybody that's projected to start or projected to be contributors was in the room last year. I look at this game, man. I think this game is a little bit more even than what people are gonna give it credit for.
That's true.
But man, Alex Golesh has this. There's a new sense of urgency of just wanting to be elite and be detailed about everything.
Right.
And first big game, it's not his first game. It won't be his first game in Jordan Hare. First big time game in Jordan Hare. Because he does play Southern Miss the week before. Man, give me
Right.
Auburn to win this game, bro. And I got Auburn winning this game. Man, if you tell me the spread in this game is 4.5, 5.5 Auburn, or if it's more like 3.5, somewhere in that realm, man, give me
Yeah.
Auburn minus the points, man. Auburn winning this
Okay.
game.
Okay. Is it a statement win? You saying?
This is a statement win for Alex Golesh. Alex Golesh wins this game. He has Vanderbilt the next week. He
Right.
should beat Vanderbilt. And if you beat Vanderbilt, you go into Tennessee undefeated 4-0 against a Tennessee team that potentially could be 4-0 as well, and that plays Texas the week before you play them. So if that happens, and
It's
and and and,
SEC
and
game of the week.
it's the SEC game of the week. It's the SEC
Definitely.
game of the week, and that sets you up to be. And if you can get that win against Tennessee on the road, it sets you up for a good October. So give me Alex Gold to go out
That
here and
sets you
get
up for
his
Georgia next, right? If I'm not mistaken.
after
Yeah,
after
you beat
Tennessee, it would be
Tennessee.
Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, and if of course if we go in that game undefeated, again, SEC game of the week.
Yep. Yep.
SEC game of the week.
Exactly.
This
Give
is
me
where
give me
this
Alex Golish, baby. Give me Alex Golish, man. Give me Alex Golish and these Auburn Tigers, baby. That's
and
what
how
I'm
you
talking
feel
about.
how you feel about this one? I already know how you feel about it, but tell us how you feel.
That's my coach, man. That's my coach. I think that I don't think this will be a statement victory per se, because like Nick said, Florida and Auburn is kind of on the same level as far as what you lost, what you gained, and question wise. But I believe this game could potentially set you up for a run
Mm,
in the SEC. Like
Excuse me.
this game might be a comparison of which coach is better before the game, but after the game, this probably gonna be, oh yeah, Alex Golish is way ahead of Summerall type status. So with the additions that we got, and especially like everybody coming from South Florida, it shouldn't be no question who wins, in my opinion.
okay. I mean, listen, I feel confident about this game. This is they're
Me
definitely
too.
gonna gauge our program
Me
and
too.
let us know where the program is. Looks like we got 87.5% of the people saying that
87. Who
Auburn is gonna
picked?
win this game.
Who
And we
picked
got,
Florida?
of
You'll see in a
course,
minute.
it's sharpshooter spot. They picked
Ah,
Florida in this game, man. Um, so of course we got a pro Auburn crowd, right? Because we entire panel is Auburn fans. The chat is littered with Auburn fans. We have a pro Auburn crowd. So for that reason, I want to be fair, right? I want to be fair. So can you guys give me some reasons that would give you pause about this football game?
Jaden Ball.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's
the
Florida's
only
path to
reason.
win this game?
If they give the ball to Jaden Ball, if they give the ball to Jaden Ball, and he runs for 175 yards in this game, watch out.
Right.
But the thing is,
I
but the thing about it is, I expect Auburn's run defense to be just as stout as it was last year, especially on the
or better.
interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, or better. You know what I'm saying? I expect
They
them to be
return
legit.
Jaden Ball, we return Xavier Atkins
Exactly. And Elijah Melendez.
and Elijah Melendez.
Don't
So
forget about Elijah
I,
Melendez.
I feel
Story.
like
I
I
got a
feel
story about
like
Elijah Melendez coming up on Water Cool Talk Sports. So
good.
check it out. It'll be up
That's
tomorrow.
what's up. I feel like Florida's a one trick pony, so that plays in Auburn favor. Like, you gotta understand, we really, before Durkin was the head coach, we really didn't have nobody run for 100 yards against us.
mm,
So I expect the same this year, for real. And like I said, Jaden Barr is an extreme talent. Don't get me wrong. He probably, between him and Hardy, they probably do. One of them is one and the other one is two, as far as running backs go.
You missing another person in there too.
Who?
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about him in the next game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You
Mason,
right. You
yeah.
right, Nick. You right, Nick.
So that
So I feel like Florida's gonna be too one dimensional. So that's gonna play in Auburn's hands.
yeah, there's one thing about this game that's kind of crazy on the surface when you think about it. If these were two teams that nobody was a fan of and nobody knew anything about, I think that this would be hands down people would pick Auburn in their roster. With a quarterback, you have a quarterback that threw for 3,000 yards, ran for 1,000, and in the other quarterback room, you have a guy who essentially has not played.
Neither one of
Right?
them.
Yeah. So like if we were picking, I don't know, the Citadel versus Bowling Green, you would go with the one that probably has the quarterback with the more experience and that's proven more on the field. But unfortunately for Auburn, we just have not been good in recent history. So I understand why people would look at him like I'm not finna put my vote in Auburn at all. Um,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
on paper, like the questions from these teams are eerily similar. Well, actually, the questions are probably more, except for Jaden Barr in that running game. You know, outside of that, everything over there is extremely questionable at Florida. It
Yeah.
just is. And that's not me, from a fan standpoint. That's true facts. Um,
Let's be honest. There are questions for Auburn. You know,
yeah,
that's questions for Auburn. But those questions have played together. They
yeah.
played together last year
If you
on the
told me
offensive
that
side of the ball.
Summerall had brought his entire
Exactly.
offense to
Exactly. Exactly.
Florida, then I would be looking
Exactly.
at this game like, oh man, he might this might be a problem. But like,
Yeah.
no, this dude,
Exactly.
this is his entire offense coming in, and there's always that question of can they do it in the SEC? Well, we'll see. And that's why they put the buckle the chin straps up and play the games. Again, we just fans giving our opinions. But man, so we gonna go ahead and put Auburn up here, man, because we got to get out of here. Um, and we already got them up on the board. Let's put the SEC index here at 87. 87.5%. I got a feeling Sharp did that because he didn't want us to have 100%. Tell us the truth,
Probably.
Sharp. Tell us
Probably.
the truth, Sharp. Let us know. Yeah, he didn't want us to have 100%.
Only Bama fans.
I appreciate it though. I really do. Uh, so let's move on to the last game, which I think is probably going to be one of, if not the most watched games of week 3. Highly anticipated matchup here. We got Ole
Game of the
Miss.
week.
We got Ole Miss hosting their former coach and Lane Kiffin. Um, uh, let's see. This game is gonna be interesting because he's playing against his former team. And we all know how messy it was, how it turned out. Um, and we know how Lane Kiffin likes to troll and some of the stuff that he said, and how he went about it. Uh, they trust me, both of these teams are looking forward to this football game.
Yes, they are.
You guys alluded to it earlier. Ole Miss returns Trinidad Chambliss, who I think is the probably the best returning quarterback. If all things stay the same as they are right now, that situation is fluid. But if y'all things stay the same, I think he is the best returning quarterback in the SEC. Um, and then they return Keywan Lacey. You guys alluded to earlier is a top 3 back in the SEC. And then you got Lane coming in here who they dumped a lot of money into that roster, man. What well over 40 million is what they said
Mhm.
that he's got down there. Um, and he's traditionally been able to do well. Just his offense has been an easy one for teams to pick up. Most times there's not a lot of learning curve, seemingly. And then you still have the question, Sam Levitt, is his foot okay? Is it not? Um, if not, they'll have to start Longstreet, who has not played college football yet.
He was a
Um,
5 star though. He was a 5 star.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Um, so this game is gonna be, I think it's gonna be must see TV in at Ole Miss. So what do you guys think about this one, man? This should be an interesting one.
Jonte Cook is gonna go off in this game.
Hmm.
Jonte
Think
Cook
so.
is gonna be Jonte Cook for Ole Miss, wide receiver. He's transferred from Syracuse. He was at Texas, transferred to Syracuse. Now he's at Ole Miss. Jonte Cook
Bro.
is gonna go off in this game. Jonte Cook is probably gonna be one of the breakout players in the SEC this year. Um, for Ole Miss. That's how I feel about it. We all know about Keywan Lace. We all know about Trinidad Chambliss. You look at the defensive side of the ball, Sertan Perkins for Ole Miss, Will Eccles is back on the defensive line for Ole Miss. They got
Crawford.
Jay Crawford in the secondary. Like you
They
look,
picked up an
you
end.
Who's a
you look
first round projected corner.
first round projected corner.
Yeah.
You go out and get Luke Farrelly, the guy that was at Clemson but now is at Ole Miss. You go out
Yeah.
and get him. You go out and go get King Thompson. Excuse me, King Thomas, who played at Baylor last year, played a lot of snaps at Baylor last year. It was a very versatile, type of, rush the quarterback type linebacker.
Right.
Like Ole Miss defense, I don't think Ole Miss defense is gonna take a step back. I think their defense is gonna look just as good as they did last year when they played. Led by Sertan Perkins, Soterion Perkins, excuse me, and Will Eccles. I look at that and I just say, man, and then I look at, but I do give LSU credit. You do have Whit Weeks back on the defensive side of the
The
ball.
Weeks boys.
We got them
It's
back.
a lot of them.
So I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, but man, this is gonna be an emotional game, bro. An emotional game.
It is.
And I think it's gonna be rocking in that stadium because I already know they're gonna put this game as a night game. I already can feel it. Man, that's gonna be an emotional game to watch, man. Give me Ole Miss to win that game.
Okay. Man, when Lane Kiffin come out of the tunnel, turn your TV down because the boos are going to be so loud in Ole Miss that it's going to be ridiculous, man. Yeah, I like all those points that you made. But like, hey, Ole Miss. I mean, LSU has some talent too. We just saw Harold Perkins put up the 4.39 in his 40.
Yeah, that was wild. That was
Yeah,
wild.
that's crazy to see
That's
somebody
crazy.
that big, that athletic. So, it's pieces there. Like, right? I'm not listen. Oh, LSU's got talent. Make no mistake about it. Uh, the- hon- Honestly, that they probably rival some of the better teams in the conference in terms of talent.
Mhm.
In terms of overall roster, they're up there with the Alabamas, with the Georgias. They're up there. That roster is definitely loaded. How you feel about this one, Ed? Which way
In
you
my
going in this?
Lee Corso, in my Lee Corso voice, not so fast, my friend. Let's think about this. The only reason, as we seen in the playoffs, that Ole Miss was as good as they was because of one Charlie Weiss Jr.
Mm,
Charlie Weiss Jr. is at LSU. Now that's gonna be an interesting matchup with him and the DC at Ole Miss. If Pete Gold is not calling the plays. Now, the difference is, do you have faith in Ole Miss OC versus Baker, the DC of LSU? That would be the question.
mm.
And emotions can only take you so far. And I'm with Tez. I think home field advantage plays a lot in this. And with that being said, I think I want to go LSU in Death Valley.
The
Mm.
game is being played
This
at
game
Ole Miss.
is at Ole
Oh,
Miss.
is that Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was
Oh,
at
the
Death
game
Valley,
was
I
in
don't
Death
even
Valley.
know.
Oh, I don't know. I'm
That
still gonna
change it for
take
you?
LSU. No, I'm still taking LSU. I think Charlie Weiss Jr. found a way.
Listen, all that good stuff that I said about Ole Miss and how emotional this game is going to be. I'm going to pick LSU to go on the road and win this football game. Because I think Lane Kiffin deals with that better, right? Lane Kiffin will have his team ready to play this football game. If there's not a game on LSU's schedule that he's going to have these guys ready to play, it's going to be this one. He is scheming up. Lane Kiffin right now is probably in between watching our show, is probably taking a few breaks to scheme up some plays from for this football game. Lane, if you watching, man, put LSU in the chat so we know it's you. Um, but yeah, I just got and this is based on. And listen, I don't think that LSU is gonna have the year that everybody thinks they're gonna have. But this is just based on a gut feeling that I think LSU goes in there and gets a win. Um, I'm gonna put LSU in the chat. I probably looks like I'm gonna be the only one because we got 100% of the people saying that Ole Miss is gonna take this one. But
Wow.
I just think, man, something about this one. And again, like if y'all remember back to week 1, the SECZN Index and the Keyboard Collective voted that LSU would drop that game against Clemson. And if that is true, that gives them even more incentive to go in here and try to win this football game. I think they are the more talented team. I think there's only maybe 2 places I can see where Ole Miss is significantly more talented than them, and that is at the quarterback position and at the running back position. However, nobody knew who Trinidad Chambliss was until Lane Kiffin got a hold to him. Right? We didn't know who this guy. For all intents and purposes, when Austin Simmons was supposed to be the guy, and when he went down, nobody really knew what to expect. But Trinidad Chambliss looked great under Lane Kiffin, and we'll get to see whether it was Kiffin or whether it was true talent from Trinidad. And listen, we all watched him play. I think it's true that talent from him, but how much of it was scheme? How much of it was offensive philosophy? We're gonna find that out in real time, week 3 of the season. At Ole
Charlie
Miss, man.
Weiss. Charlie Weiss.
So, man, if y'all got some closing thoughts on this game, man. If not, we can go ahead and close this one out. This actually went a lot longer than I thought it would go. But yeah, it looks like Ole Miss is gonna take this one with 80% SEC index. 80%. Uh, so let's go ahead and put theirs on the board, man. Let's go ahead and put theirs on the board. This is interesting, man. If this happens this way, if we're in week 3, I just guys want you to understand, and I apologize because I don't have the schedules ready to show you guys so that we can know what we picked. I will have them the next time we do this. But if this happens, if LSU starts this season 1-2, right? If they start this season 1-2, it is going to be like a grenade went off in college football. That's
I
going to be
think
like
that's I think that's very possible.
That's going to be like the biggest story in college football. They dropped this game to Clemson and then, beat who did they play week
90
2?
million dollar.
Louisiana Tech. They beat Louisiana Tech and then come back and drop a game to Ole Miss. Bro, that is going to be the biggest story in college football. And you guys in the Keyboard Collective, you guys have voted that is going to happen. So I just want you guys to know what you voted for. Because you voted that, boy, we're going to see some fireworks. I hope it happens because I want to see the most explosive season ever. I love chaos in football. Nothing better
90
than
million
chaos
dollar
in football.
man.
So we're going to put him up there with a 66.67. 67. Denise would be doing that if she was here and heard me say that. So I guess we'll just put 66.8, round it off. 66.8% SEC's index. And yeah, we're gonna call it there. So there it is, man. You got have it. Those are the games that you picked for week 3 of this thing. And what do you think about this, man? What do you guys think about this before we get out of here? And you guys in the chat, you can drop what you guys think about this. Sharp saying not really. I think
I
he
think
not really to what?
I'm talking about
Specific.
me saying that it's very possible that happens. Just
Oh,
not. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing
mean,
about it is, we saw teams with a lot of talent that didn't do well, and stuff like that. But part of it comes from the fact of the matter that this notion with like of Lane Kiffin of what Lane Kiffin is as a coach. Like people have their different opinions on that and things stuff of that nature. Like what has he accomplished and all type of stuff like that. But it is an opinion. It's whatever. However, it's subjectively how you think about it. I just don't think LSU's going. I just don't think LSU's going to be that good this
Oh,
year.
he says on it being the biggest story. You don't think so? You don't
Yeah, I
think
don't.
Lane Kiffin
I
start this
1 and 2.
season 1-2
Yeah,
after spending
that's
over
gonna.
$40 million on a roster and everything that went on the way it happened, that it won't be one of, if not the biggest story in college. The
Yeah,
only
that's
thing that
gonna
would
be the
make it
biggest.
bigger is if Alabama start off 0-3.
Yeah.
I I don't know. I think that would be a huge story. If that happens.
Okay, so if we're playing what if Bama starts 1-2 and LSU starts 1-2, which one's the bigger story?
Alabama. Alabama's the bigger brand. It's always going to be the bigger story when the bigger brand does that. But I don't
Um,
think Alabama's going to start 1-2 though. So
I think LSU would be the bigger story because of all the money they spent.
they did spend a ton of money on
You
the roster. I
spent
give you that.
you have spent 130 million between head coach and roster. Not to
Listen,
mention,
Lane Kiffin
huh?
can drop a tweet and it'd be the biggest story.
That's true.
Lane Kiffin
Right,
can tweet on Monday and we talk about it all the way up until the game starts. So like
That is
him
right.
true.
himself is a storyline in himself. That's why I'm saying this, because of who he is as a person. Yeah, I think it'll be a huge story, man. But man, we have overstayed our welcome, guys. I did not. This episode has actually been longer than the other ones, and we picked less games. So we gotta we gotta figure that out, man. Because I do not want to be on here for almost 2 hours all the time, and I know you guys got stuff to do. It's a school night, so I know you guys got to get your clothes ironed and starched, put the crease in them. People still crease their pants.
I don't think
Mm,
so.
crease-
I think people just.
Nah.
I think people just throw it in the dryer and let the dryer like take the wrinkles out. But if you fancy, you got one of them things that you go down your clothes with and it get the wrinkles out for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Some of the little
yeah. I ain't creased
steamer.
my pants in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know when
actually,
last time I creased my pants. That's
so actually,
wild.
because my wife make t-shirts, we just use the heat press.
There it is.
Yeah.
See, that's it.
Yeah, I can iron one whole leg of my pants at a time. It's amazing. Uh,
Oh, that's
but,
good.
but this is it, you guys. I will be putting this out on the Twitters and the internet spaces for you guys to take a look at and comment on. But without further ado, man, we got to get to the outro, man, because one, I'm hungry. So
Me
let's
too.
go ahead and get to this outro, man. All right, guys. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you for hopping in the chat, making your voice known, and spending your time here today with me. Listen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, so I appreciate that. And I don't say that lightly because I think time is the most valuable asset that you can give to a person. If somebody gives you their time, you need to value that. So when I say that to you guys, man, I really mean it. That you spent your time here checking us out. That is, super, 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 super dope on you guys. But with all that being said, man, this has been a great episode. Next Tuesday, guys, if you're watching this, we are going to take a break. So Fans versus Day is going to be on the bye week. That doesn't mean we're not gonna have a show on Tuesday, but we're gonna do some fun stuff. So if you guys have tuned in the past, you know the kind of fun stuff we do. We may do some Wordle. I got like maybe some. I'm working on a guess the player trivia. So if you guys want to do that, come back in. And also, because we have not unveiled the SECZN t-shirts, we will be giving away whatever contest that we have. We will be giving away the SECZN t-shirts, and you'll be the first one to get it if you can win those contests. So be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure you check out Thursday, 10:30 a.m., 11:30 p.m. 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time for lunch breaks. Where we doing Age Ain't Nothing but a Number. where we're going to explore whether old coaches have adapted to the NIL era or not. Should be an interesting conversation, man. So, again, appreciate the panel. Appreciate you guys, as always, for joining me. Appreciate everybody in the chat for joining me. And I'm going to let these guys tell you where you can find them. And where can the people find you at?
Man, y'all can find me in Wisconsin right now. Cold, bruh. Man, I ain't seen 40-degree weather since January. And it's 40-something degrees up here, man. I can't live like this.
Hey, you got to get your coat. You got to get your coat for Wisconsin from Wisconsin.
I
Can't
promise
take
you,
an Alabama coat up there. It ain't going to work.
ain't gonna last.
Already, man. Hey, Nick Frazier, Water Cooler Talk Sports. Tell them what you got going on. First of all, tell them where they can find you. They probably already know that, but tell them what you got going on, man.
Yeah, Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Network. We are here on the YouTube street, so go subscribe to Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. Check out our shows around the cooler Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and of course, check out SEC Heat Check with Marcus Fitzpatrick Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. Also visit www.watercoolertalksports.com. Again, www.watercoolertalksports.com, man, for all of your written sports articles and articles on there, man. And we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. Thank y'all. Shout out to Tiz, shout out to Ant, shout out to DC, shout out to Kid Country. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to B Sharp. Shout out to everybody, man, for just everything. Shout out to everybody, man. We have a great time.
Yeah, man. This is a lot of fun. All right, man. So we got to get up out of here because, like I said, I'm hungry. I got to grab something to eat, man. And y'all be safe. Man, we got Dwight coming in at the last minute saying, dang, I missed y'all. Oh, man. Hey, it's cool. Watch it on the rewatch. It was a great episode, man. I think you're going to be surprised at how some of them turned out. But, man, we got to get up out of here, Dwight, man. I'm hungry. Got to get something to eat, man. As always, you guys, it's SECZN. And we out. Peace.